Sinbad, the greatest man alive, his own spin-off series, Sinbad no冒険, Magi. Yes, people tell me that I need to see this, and I finally saw the Magi, Sinbad's Adventures, Sinbad no冒険, whatever you want to call this, and just already to there you go. So I was shocked as hell that the OVAs have actually got more better pacing than the actual anime series itself, which is shocking because we didn't even get through a whole chapter in this one, regardless that the first chapter is like 80 pages. We went through around about 17, 18 pages worth of material, not to mention a little bit in other places and all that. So it's like, why couldn't the original Magi have this? Why couldn't it have this? It's like, no, when we see that the boy is born with great power known as Sinbad, it's like, yo, freaking Yunnan heard that freaking scream from freaking Sinbad's mom Elsa from miles away saying, yo, this man is going to be born with great power. And it's like, you see at the start that, Sinbad is pretty strong. And this is when he's around about 16, 14 at the current time. And it's saying, he's just taking care of these dudes with such easy. He's a proper brawler. And it's like, yo, he's fucking some people up in this chapter. And then we see, meet up with, Yunnan. If people know this is, Yunnan is one of the Magis, I'm also going in this route is that you've actually seen the first 2 seasons of Magi. If not, then what the fuck is wrong with you? Go back and see season 1 and 2 of Magi. I mean, what the fuck? And you see, meet up with Yunnan. It was actually hiding in a freaking barrel, which it reminded me a lot of, just going back to episode 1 of Magi. It was like, Yunnan, you had Aladdin in there eating the watermelons with the barrels and stuff, and then as well you see Yunnan there. It kind of was a nice little reminder of that. I think that's what Shinobu was going for. And we see that the soldiers actually go, because there's at the current moment there's 2 armies going in. There's the Flame Empire, and then there's the it's a really long name, the Palfarian army, and we see Commander Dragul. And it's like, yo, if people know who he's voiced by, then that might spoil a little bit of the series for you. So I'm going to say, his voice actor, fucking beast, but he shares someone close in this series that we might know already. Maybe a little hint there, but it's like, yo, when Sinbad was saying he refused, because he's like, his father had to go into war. And he's like, look where my father went. He died at war, and he didn't want to go, and this was what happened. I'm the only man left in this freaking town right now. And I had to then, even as well, he's got his mother who's sick in bed, and Sinbad feels so powerless. If he doesn't go, he dies. If he has to go anyway to go into the dungeon, he dies. It's the first ever dungeon of mankind, and it's like, yo, he has to go. And it's just even as well, seeing a few other characters as well. We saw Saladine, the princess, who will play hopefully a bigger role in the series as well. And then when Sinbad, I really just loved how he just entered that dungeon and saying because he knows all this thing, apparently he knows the spiritual waves and stuff, and when he was telling Yunnan this, he's saying Yunnan was actually genuinely excited for this guy, saying you should be a king, that. So you have the correct ways to become the king, and it's he's excited, but he's also terrified about what Sinbad and powers can do, because he knows that this guy is very powerful, and it's been very hinted at the manga currently that Sinbad as well is something more than what he was. And it's I'm just really curious to see what this guy is. He's so crazy right now. And it's Sinbad OVA got me really excited. I have actually read up the manga. I am caught up to the Sinbad manga, so I am looking forward to. Yeah, didn't go through much content as I was expected to. We only just entered the dungeon at the end of the episode. I just was in there saying, the one that's going to be the conquer the dungeon is me, like that. And it just runs into that. That was just awesome, man. I just enjoyed it. It's I want to do more of these OVAs. I love Magi. I love talking about it. It's one of my favorite series out all to talk about. And it's I'm glad we've got more anime content. I don't know if there was A1 Pictures that actually did this, because I noticed that, Yunnan looked a lot different from what he does in the anime series. I think it's a different studio doing the OVAs, but either regardless, A1 Pictures definitely put their money into this, and for what we got in this OVA, I really enjoyed it, and I think this one, it was a 7.5 to an 8. It was a really good OVA, a really good start to it, seeing about Sinbad's backstory so far, but let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. But that's all from me. I want to thank you very much for watching as always. Remember, I'll see you guys next time, and strap that